sat down with Peter Rinaldi in the Upper West Side of Manhattan to talk about the work. Okay, my first question is, you started the podcast because you're a director. This is what you've told me in the past.
That's right.
You're a director, and you... my real question is...
I was afraid of actors.
Mm. And has that fear evolved?
Yes. I'm not afraid of actors anymore. But I'm not a good director yet. I don't think. But that fear was so strong, man, that I'm making huge progress. I mean, I didn't know how to, I got trained, and I still didn't know how to talk to actors. I was worried about everything that could go wrong. I was worried about over-talking. I was worried about under-talking. I didn't understand. I'm saying that in the past tense. I still don't quite understand, even though I've talked to 380 actors.
What is there to be understood, you think?
So many things, man. The job of the director keeps I keep trying to reach it. It's an amazing learning experience talking to actors, and then trying to direct, and then also when people put me in little things as an actor, that's huge. I accept everything now that's on film. Sometimes things on stage I don't want to do anymore. I'm so scared of the stage. That's a whole other topic, but I'm talking about just as an actor. I'm talking about those two things. Talking to actors, trying to direct, and trying to act a little bit. Huge. Keep evolving.
Well, I was thinking, as I was taking the train down here, or up here rather, I was thinking if the point of the podcast was essentially to grow, you're like a director who, you're in the process of directing, I understand your first feature.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes.
As a director, you've spent the past certain amount of years talking to actors. A part of me goes, why do you not also interview directors?
Oh, I would love to interview directors. I would love it, but I'm such a stickler for the format of the podcast, like, for some reason. So I'd love to have a separate podcast where I talk to directors, and it would be, I think, even more listenable. Oh, it would be different. I think that what's good about my podcast is I'm not an actor, and I'm in awe of actors. So when I talk to directors, it's not going to be like that. It would be like those other podcasts where actors talk to actors.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be cool, though. I think it would be great. But it wouldn't benefit me enough.
Right.
See, talking to actors is benefiting me because it's constantly learning. I thought it would get old. It's not getting old at all. If it's the opposite of getting old. It's Benjamin Buttoning.
Has
Get it?
Maybe no. I'm incredibly stupid. I don't understand. But you've interviewed. I mean, you have like 300 and something episodes.
Yes.
So I go. I'm sure you don't. I imagine you don't remember all of them, but I imagine some really stand out. And I wonder if you could talk about well, first off, I think like your chapters of talking to actors. Like you go, I started doing this because I was afraid. 300 and something episodes. I imagine you're not so afraid, and you've said that also.
Mm-hmm.
But I go, what were like the chapters of interviewing people? Like, what did you learn? What surprised you? Like, what was that? How do you describe that?
Well, this is putting me on the spot, but
I know.
But I think I know what you mean, and it's not quite like chapters though. What happened is that after about 30, I was like, oh, I think I kind of know what to do now. In terms of talking to actors, in terms of maybe being a little bit of a better director, I kind of, and then somebody or a couple people came in, and I'm thinking of people like, James Ransone. James Ransone came in and he didn't know it was an acting podcast. And he was like, fuck this. I'm not talking about acting. And I was like, great, let's not talk about acting. Or he's like, I don't have a process. I was like, let's talk about your non-process. Mm-hmm. And it ended up like realizing like he has a different kind of approach, and he does have a process. That's not a great example, but sometimes people would just come in, and then a couple other people would be coming in, and it felt like, and I know this is going to sound woo-woo, but they, in successive order, they were saying things, they hadn't heard each other, but they were saying things that made me realize, oh no, I thought I understood this. I don't.
What did you think you understood?
I thought I was just getting a handle on the right way to do it.
That there is a right way to do it.
That there is a right way.
Right.
And then people came in, and I was like, oh my God, no, there isn't a right way. Because that's not, but I idiotically thought, oh no, that's now the right way. Oh, then somebody would come in, or a couple people. Well, sometimes it wasn't just one person. It was like a couple people at a time in a similar approach. It started to feel like somebody is, and I don't believe this, man. Mm-hmm. I actually don't believe it. Felt like somebody was orchestrating this evolution of education, right? That sounds really egotistical, pretentious, and everything, right? Like, but it did feel like that. But after a while, I thought there is no right way to do this, or there are many right ways. Then I started just being open. Now this is maybe year 2 or 3. And then it was evolving my questions because of this, right? Then I was just like, then I was able to, then maybe I did a little something around that time, directed a couple things, and then I was able to bring that back into the conversation, hear more things. Then somebody put me in something, and then that's how it kept evolving. Now you say chapters, but it's more like the information. I think Michael Chernus just said this beautifully. He's like, it's not, the great thing about the podcast is that it's not like there's like, it's not one great episode or something. There's great moments, but what happens is you relax. I love the way he said that. He's like, you relax at the knowledge that you relax at knowing. I'm paraphrasing him. He said it beautifully. At knowing that there isn't a right way. And then you just hear the different ways of doing it. Like, I love when I have to be passionate about the work, though, a little bit, that the people are doing. I can't just take somebody on the podcast that I don't know. But I don't, sometimes I just look at a little bit of their work, and I'm like, that's enough. All right, let me get them in. And I still don't know them much. Mm-hmm. And those are sometimes the most revelatory. And so I like doing that. I like having people on that I'm not enamored by so much, that are new people, sometimes young people.
Yeah.
Really young people, man. Do you know how many young actors that blew my mind, that I'm just like, it gives me hope for the future? I'm almost going to cry right now. There's so many young people blowing my mind in this podcast. And I'm just like, every time, I'm just like, how do I, there's never enough time to promote it or to say what I want, because I'm always doing the next one. But I wish I had that, like, so if somebody could like pinpoint things and show people. I'm just like, you got to listen. You just got to listen. Thanks for letting me talk about this, man, because I feel like it's so egotistical to talk about your own podcast, but I almost feel like these are just people coming on that I'm a listener like everybody else. Mm-hmm. It's not like something I'm creating. Yeah. I'm the first listener.
Totally.
I'm the biggest fan of these people.
So you've had...
Can I just... Frank, can you shut up? We're recording. Oh, it's Dermont. I'm sorry, Dermont. I love you. Tell Frank I'll kick his ass.
Dude, you've been
I hope
working
you're-
here since you were 25 years old.
Will you edit?
No. No, I'm not good at this. Bro, so you have one of the most interesting acting-related podcasts. You also work full-time at this.
It's not really full time. It's like a weird part-time job. Don't ask personal questions.
Why?
I don't want. No. I don't want
on, dude.
No. I don't want fans coming out here.
Dude, we're not gonna say. Well, it's yours on the West Side. Could be good.
Oh, okay.
I think that this might have given it away.
I like how you came down here, closer to me.
You like this better?
Oh yeah, baby.
Very good. Okay, I have so you've interviewed people in completely different stages of their careers, completely different ages.
Yes.
I'm like really
17 to 96.
You interviewed a 17-year-old?
Yes, I did.
That's legal?
Yeah, they can talk.
So my question is, do any patterns start to emerge in the way that more experienced people see things, in the way that other people see things? What patterns do you start noticing?
They give up on things that they thought mattered. Actually, if a step further, something happens and they realize they don't have the opportunity to do it, quote, right. They survive it, and it's actually better. And they realize, oh my God, not only don't I need the thing that I thought I needed, I'm operating on another level because I don't have that. And I know that these are I'm talking really elusively, but you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
It's like there's tools or there's approaches that they hang on to early on. When they get older, just more experience. And sometimes this happens to young people if they have enough experience, where they let go of a certain way of doing it that they thought was so integral to their work. And then what you start to realize, man, is that this, and that's what I'm trying to do now. You know, I know we're trying to do something. I tried to approach that. There's sometimes just not enough time. I'm saying so many things at once, but what I'm trying to say is, like, there is another plane to do the work on, where the work is deeper, scarier, but more impactful, because you're just listening and reacting and not like holding on to these tools. But the interesting thing about this endeavor, right, is that you need those tools, though. You need to have had them in order to fully let them go and be free, right, later on. But there are people that start out without those tools, and they're just free. I almost think, like, I used to go trap shooting, right? Clay birds. Mm-hmm. And my father eventually got really good, but he used to be, like, so annoyed at some people that were really good. He's like, you know what it is? He's like, you know what it is? They're dumb. They're just stupid. They're not thinking. They're just shooting the fucking birds. Mm-hmm. And, like, and he's like, I think too much. And then there's something about that. If you can let yourself go with that thing, that's the thinking thing, and that's why I'm not so good, man, as an actor, because I think too much. It's overthinking. But there are super intelligent actors, though, that can do it in a certain way, and they don't have to let go that much. So, you know what I mean? It's almost like I'm keep contradicting. There are so many contradictions in this. But to answer your question, it's when they are able to, at a certain point, let things go and be brave enough to live in that moment. Yeah. And then that's what separates the older people from most of the younger people.
Like a clinging on to, this is the way that I do things?
Yes. Totally. Yes. And just, or clinging on to tools and to approaches.
Totally.
and to preparation. What you start to hear is that people and they almost, if you listen, they're almost ashamed to say this, that they don't need preparation anymore. And it almost sounds like, wait, what? I mean, that's part of the work. But they get to a point where they realize that it's more important to be in the moment. Like, all that preparation was actually, it's not quite necessary, because the strength of being in the moment is so strong in terms of the level of what you're doing.
Can I push back a little bit?
Yeah.
I think that the rules of the game need to be so deeply ingrained in your body that you can then completely release the rules of the game. But it's like, if you were never aware of the rules of the game, then you just get a whole bunch of bland nothing.
Yes.
Like, you take like somebody, like you're talking about like an accomplished actor who's whatever, like an older accomplished actor. My bet is that you can give them a scene with absolutely no preparation, and somehow magically the work is deeper than someone who's been like, this, and look at my fucking script, it's got all these notes, and who knows what the fuck they all mean, but it's very dense.
Mm-hmm.
So I still go like, I'm not sure how to get around that.
Mm-hmm.
I think something interesting happened to me yesterday. I had a conversation with someone after class, and she asked me, like, she was like, I feel like I just don't see like what's important in the scene. Like, I don't understand. Like, I can never see what's, like, when you say it, like, it makes sense to me. It always makes sense, but I don't understand how to do it myself. Like, I don't understand what to look for. How do I build the thing myself?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the thing is, like, when we start, sorry to use her as an example. I won't say her name, but she's an astronomer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, let's say I look through a telescope and she looks through a telescope. My bet is we're seeing very different things.
Yeah.
I look at some stars and I go, oh, that shit is very shiny.
It's bright.
Nice. Look, one's bright, seems like a couple clusters. She probably sees ages of fucking stars and like gaseous formations. Like, I don't see any of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I also think there's so much pattern recognition going on, where someone is like, this is how I work, this is what I'm focusing on. Where the other person, maybe 20 years in, takes that shit for granted.
Yes.
Or not for granted, but like, it's so deeply in them. It's like babies need to learn how to walk. How often are you thinking about that?
Mm-hmm.
And who's focusing harder? Probably the baby.
Yes.
So I wonder, so me and you did this play over the summer.
Yeah.
I wonder what surprised you about, when was the last time you directed actors before that?
Well, let's get real here, because you get real on your show, which I want to match. I want to be that.
Be that.
Okay? I think...
Doesn't matter. We like it.
I think I didn't serve you right. I think I didn't serve you. And that, I mean, I'm 51 years old, and it's never too late to learn. Like, this was a learning thing. The great thing is that play was just a rehearsal for the film.
Totally.
So we're still in the process. But what I mean by didn't serve you is that I got my ass kicked a little bit. Because I actually haven't worked... the last time I worked with actors, they were friends. And I'm not saying you're not a friend, but those people were friends first, and they were actors second. You're a great guy, but you're an actor first, meaning like that's not insulting, right? You know what I mean? Like the people, I'm friends with everybody in that play, but they're actors. And there's a different, it's been a long time. Learning that it's about communication was a big deal for me. So 300 and whatever actors, one thing that I didn't learn from talking to actors, that I really learned from that directing process, is that you need to communicate clearly and efficiently.
Communicate what?
Communicate direction.
But what's direction?
That's it. That's a very good question.
Yeah.
Because there is different ways to direct. And I thought I got this. But what I was communicating to you, and I think you guys, I was trying to come up with, I was going to say it here, but I was trying to come up with like James made fun of me for what I kept saying in a light-hearted way. And maybe you remember it. I kept saying something because I don't have a vocabulary. And I don't have, I was like, yeah, it's beautiful, like the touches, I forget what I kept saying. And it was like, if you bump up against the wall of efficient, verb-centric direction. We're recording. If you bump up against efficient, verb-centric, what the fuck did I say? I hate being interrupted. Also, the director should never yell. If you are not able to efficiently communicate in a verb-centric way, that's what I was going to say. Verb-centric meaning almost everything else is result-oriented. Like I didn't think I was talking result-oriented, but I kind of was. Even that little bit of a difference, like there is really hardcore result-oriented directing that is ridiculous, and an actor has to completely retranslate it. But they're successful people that just do that. The ultimate is, of course, line readings, But there are so many levels of result-oriented below that, and realizing that even if I'm on a less harsh result-oriented language, it's still not effective enough with good actors. See, some actors I worked with in my films were not actors at all, and I figured out ways of getting stuff out of them. Mm-hmm. And usually that's a whole other skill set.
Totally.
And I'm actually proud of some stuff I got out of people, But when you work with trained good actors who it's like this minor adjustment thing that is very specific, very verb oriented, that needs to happen efficiently, and then they take it, and like Mia is thrives on direction, but all she needs is a slight little very, very specific, very efficiently communicated thing, and she'll take it because that's how good she is. You're like that too. Everybody in this play was, and I wasn't able to. It took me time to be able to do that. I don't even know if I got to it, but everything's a learning thing, man. So the point is that you could want to be a good director. You could talk to actors every week, claim you're learning. If you don't do it, you're gonna bump up against walls.
Directing itself.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, it's also like you just don't know what problems exist out there.
That's right.
Not you, like in general, like anybody. Like to me, it's so interesting that about like you don't necessarily want to be an actor, you want to be a director, but the infusion of information predominantly comes from actors, and you're getting one side of this coin, but your skill set is actually in something totally different.
Yes.
Like when you get like a call sheet, you get like the description of the scene, right? And the description of the scene will be like John sees Mandy, they have dinner, they leave together. Mm-hmm. Nowhere does it say John is so sad Then Mandy comes in. He's excited. Mandy is sad. And then they're a little bit forlorn thinking about what happened last week as they eat dinner. That's like... But actors are like consumed by this like moment before. They're consumed by like, no disrespect, they're consumed sometimes by a lot of shit that muddles clarity.
Mm-hmm.
But I go like... I think like so much of what a director does is like establish clarity. Actors actually they're not trained to think that way.
That's a very important part of the job, and they shouldn't. And you know what? Bad directing makes actors have to do that, though. Bad directing makes actors have to take that on. You know, the other thing that has happened because of this podcast is like I've developed like a real, maybe unfair judgment about the directing that goes on and what actors have had to do to evolve to work with this inadequate directing. And everyone's just like, even some actors are just like you know, Tim Blake Nelson. He's like, I don't care if a director is an asshole. I don't care. And I'm like, well, it's great that you don't care, but I didn't say this like this, but it has to be thought of that. It could be more. There could be more that we can get out of actors if the director knew their job better. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm hoping for. Like I foolishly or naively believe that the podcast is helping directors, and that they want to do what I did, like take what I'm hearing, and then start to try to be better. Mm-hmm. Because just what you said, you know, like it's about realizing what what the job entails, and it's not like thinking about your vision and like trying to like result orientally talk about that in that way. It's got to be a collaborative thing. Mm-hmm. It has to be, to get the best out of people. Mm-hmm. It has to be, and if it can't be like that, then something has to change. And it's not a full evolution of the relationship.
Right.
You know, I'm not sure if that's making sense, but
can I ask? I know maybe you don't like chapters, but I love a good talk about chapters, and I've known you for like 2 years, and it seems like this adult film Brooklyn Center thing became like a thing a couple years ago. Mm-hmm. I wonder what did like, and it seems like you're like a mega big supporter. Everybody loves seeing you. You're like a famous person.
Uncle Petey.
Who?
Uncle Petey.
Yeah. Sure. Everybody loves you.
That's
nice.
Nice.
I told you this many times. I thought you were like, when I became Instagram friends with you, I thought this was like such a. I was like, dude.
then you had a rude awakening.
No. I was very honored to be friends with you. Mm. But I go. What was your like before these fucking obscure Brooklyn theaters sprouted up? What was your like artistic life like, and how did you start like infusing yourself into with all these like young people? And you're not like, if I didn't know you at all, and I just knew that this guy would show up and was a super big supporter or something, and I didn't know that you had a podcast, I didn't know, I would be like, something strange is going on here. But it's not at all. You're
maybe some people think that.
I don't think so. I haven't heard it.
Okay. Well, it's like a dream, man. Like me and my roommate when we were in our 20s, we in the 90s, we dreamed of this. Like we were like, New York's supposed to have this. Like, where is it? Now it was around, I think, but because we didn't have the internet then, like we didn't know what was going on in our own city. Do you know what I mean? Like we didn't know how to integrate into communities like that, artistic communities, if they even were there. I don't know. But we used to talk about this. Like, we used to dream about this. And then so for literally like 20 years, I wasn't I wasn't involved in anything like that. I was doing creative things with people that I still knew from film school and people that they knew. And so I made a pretty big project 20 years ago that got into festivals, and I got meetings and stuff, and got job offers, directing offers. It was a pretty successful thing. It was a independent television pilot called Oh Be Joyful, which is completely almost unwatchable now because it's 4:3, it's standard definition. It's like the first shot is like a flip phone, the last shot's a VHS tape. It feels like it's from 1940s. It's like it looks like shit, but at the time I put a lot of effort into it. The point is that everybody that I knew was like from this small section of my film school life and friends. And I made this thing, and there was no support. There was no engagement. The only engagement was at this one kind of big festival, but it didn't lead to anything. It didn't lead to other people and connecting and then making things like I wanted it to. So there was a kind of a desert of creative support for years. And I spent way too long writing a couple feature scripts, really trying to get it done. I thought it would take me a couple months, but it took me years. And I thought I could sell. Like, I had one commercial idea, and I thought I could sell it. You know, that was the extent of my creativity going into finding these incredible Brooklyn people. By the way, it's because of that guy behind the camera right now, Matt Street. That I. When I went to the first time I went to, I told the story many times, but when I first went to an adult film thing, he was there, and I knew him from something else, and I was about to leave. From Kave's Zahedi's Ulysses project.
And then what was Matt Street like at that event?
He took care of me. I didn't know how to project. I was the first time I was on a stage. I was holding script pages, doing this 7-hour play. It's like, it was ridiculous. The audience couldn't hear me in the front row, and Matt was helping me out. Very nice young man. And I was about to leave, David, at this first adult film thing, and I saw him, and he's like, "Why don't you stay?" And I stayed, and what I saw was these amazing young actors and other creative kind of people doing this one day thing.
What was the event?
And it was adult film's first massive play festival, kind of different scenes, different like one acts. I was in shock. I was like, I thought it was going to be a bunch of like good-looking poser young people, and I was going to be, like an alien, looking at aliens and being like, can't wait to get back to the Upper West Side and get the fuck out of this place. And what it was people taking the work seriously. And and then I met Ryan, and I was like, all right, this guy's like an acting savant. Then I met Matt Gazda because I thought they were connected, but they're not. But it's really through Mia too, because she was connected to both of them. That's why I thought they were connected. And then I'm like, wow, there's over there's young people taking the work seriously. So just the idea of them taking the work seriously.
What does taking the work seriously mean?
It means trying to improve. It means not just doing like, because I did. There was one thing, I'm not going to mention it. There was only one little thing in the periphery of these two groups where I was like, oh, that's what I thought this shit was going to be. Good-looking young people pretending, like ironically doing fucking acting and shit, and like everybody laughing at like in jokes and shit. I was like, oh, it's good. Like, it was about a year or two in. I was like, that is what I thought this shit was going to be. That's what I thought. I'm sorry. So when it's the opposite of what these people are doing, which is like, that's what taking the work seriously is, trying to improve, trying to take classics and do it in a way that's respectful to the classics, not like even Ryan's like new way of doing things is still respecting. He's still engaging with it. He's still deep enmeshed in the respect for the thing. Mm-hmm. That's the difference. It's like not like shitting on something and like having fun with something that I thought was going to be. That's what taking the work seriously means.
Yeah, totally. Slightly switching topics. You to me are like one of the most solid people I have around in my ecosystem.
Really?
But just in terms of like when you say you're going to do something, you actually do it. I know that like today when we planned this 10 a.m. meeting that I wasn't going to get a text at like 8:45 saying some shit.
Yeah.
Even though we didn't talk for like 2 days.
Yeah. That's
Were you
just
always
age.
this way?
No. I was. But I think that's also age, though. But I guess I'm contradicting myself. No, I was always like this. Yes.
Where did you get it from?
I don't know. It's a lot of my friends are like this, though.
Really?
Yeah. It's a respect for... I hate to say this, man, but I think the internet and social media and just having a phone and the idea... Because, like, when I grew up, man, when you say you were going to be somewhere, if you're not there, nobody knows how to get in touch with you.
Yeah, totally.
Like, you have to go home and you hit your answering machine to find out the like what happened. So when you say you're going to do something, you have to be there.
Right.
I think there's something about that. If you grow up like that, that's just the way you keep going.
Totally.
I don't know. I might be wrong. I mean, there's some people that are old, that are my age that don't.
Being stood up.
Yeah.
Matt, is there a concept of being stood up now? Or does that just not happen because you'll just get a text?
Right. It doesn't even hurt to be stood up.
No, I think that's worse if you don't get that text. That is
If you're just ghosted, but like being stood up now means you've been ghosted immediately. Yeah.
something that I'll notice at like I work at a bar, and there are women who will show up, or men, but mostly women recently. Just the guys won't show up. It'll be like 2 hours later. And they're like, "Yeah, I guess I'm gonna go home." And I'm like, "That's crazy. You need to get a text."
Damn.
You know, but that's like you said, it seems like it's probably a lot harsher now because the texting is a thing. You can just be like, "Hey, I'm not coming tonight," but no one does it.
I bet you young ladies are like doing that, trying to get Matt to hit on them.
They're the ones sending the text.
No, wait, okay.
Being like, actually, sorry, I was a little sick. Better if you. and Matt's like, dang, I really feel.
Yeah. I'm so curious why you're asking that, though. Why are you talking about this? What is that? What's that about you?
Because I think I'm really more interested in like, to me, like the holy grail of this podcast episode is if I'm able to guide you to a place that you've never been to before, like emotionally, and some kind of like a revelatory thing happens. Like, you know, like that's like like I love, like it's interesting to talk about the podcast, and that really is interesting. But I go like, that's, to me, that's, I think, more surface level than who you are as a person, and I would rather see if I can find a way into that without like directly. Like I go, I don't know. Sometimes I think that like vulnerability is like, it's like like when people go out, everybody hopes, I think, if you're a single person, they hope that like something will happen, some kind of a connection will form, and something unexpected will take place. And they hope that suddenly these like sequences of keys like unlock elements of themselves, and suddenly there they are, and they don't know how they got there.
Yeah.
I think like my suspicion is that it happens through like a little bit of vulnerability, and a little bit more vulnerability, a little bit more vulnerability, and then we've given each other permission to like. Lord knows what happens.
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
That's how it'll go down. So I go like. The reason I asked that question is because I was wondering if it would. Because I somewhat think I'm that way too. Somewhat. I think part of that was like, I remember one of my first friends in the city was this guy named Akis. I met him at a class in HB. And he was literally like the first person that I had that we would like just get coffee. Like I used to be a personal trainer at this gym at Bally's, one of those, on 20th Street. And I was like, I would see those people like during the day, but I never, like if I wanted to get coffee with somebody, nobody in the city existed. But this guy was the first person that I had. And I remember I was of the opinion that like responding to texts was like borderline optional. And I remember one time this guy he's a Greek guy with clearly different standards for communication. To me, that seemed normal. Like sometimes you don't get a response to a text. He was like, dude, why do you think it's okay not to respond to text? You realize it's like we're having a conversation and then you just don't respond. That's like called being rude. Like that's what that is. And I was like, well, shit. I guess you're right. And I do think that like drastically altered the way that I conduct. It just altered the way. Like in that moment, I was like, I guess I'm doing it different from now on.
Yeah, isn't that beautiful? Somebody said something to me once when I was about 20. And this is going to sound so simple and so, like, how is that a revelation? But it like was like a little bomb that eventually went off in my head. And I keep thinking about it. And it's like, oh, if he didn't say that, all he said was, I mean, you're going to laugh your ass off when I say this. All he said was, Peter, not everybody is like you.
Yeah. Totally.
And I think I thought they were. What he meant in the context was like how people grew up. I mean, but that little bomb made me think about like people didn't have my parents. My parents were incredible. What if you have bad parents? Like you have a whole, like I started thinking from that, just those words.
Yeah.
All these different things. He doesn't even know that I think about it. I don't know him much anymore.
You should text him.
I know. But doesn't this make you think like maybe you said something to somebody one day that they are still thinking about that changed them?
Maybe.
I mean, but that's also a testament to college and like, or doing anything outside of your comfort zone, like meeting new people and like having somebody say that, like, because he was from Portugal and a completely different culture and like a completely different upbringing, and like that's all important. And of course, that's also all important if we're talking about acting. Like everything like that is so huge to actors because that is just being around different kinds of people and having a whole different kind of somebody shining a light back on you.
And you also don't know what's possible sometimes unless you see someone else do it.
Yeah.
Like you don't even know what we're aiming for unless you see. Have you seen Hamm yet?
No, I was just thinking about that. Should I go see that? I thought it was going to be like really sappy, but people are loving this, huh?
Maybe. I mean, I actually think if anyone is going to have an issue with it, I think it's going to be you.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's going to annoy the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
But to me, I don't think I've ever had such like a visceral experience watching a movie. From like the very beginning, I was like, I have a really hard time suspending disbelief. Almost always, I'm watching a movie purely as like a like part critic.
Yep.
The acting, everything. But from the very beginning, I was like, I just bought it.
Wow.
There's some stuff in there that like I didn't know that they made movies like that.
Wow.
I didn't know movies like that existed.
Wow.
And of course, I went on Reddit afterwards, and there was a couple people who didn't love certain elements of it.
Yeah.
But I was like, I haven't had like an experience where I'm like, oh, this is like my like. I'm like altered.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought it was like really, really special.
Wow.
But that was also an example of like, it was like, damn, that kind of acting is out there. Whoa. It's like, it was like a massive, I don't want to say challenge, but it was like deeply inspiring.
Well, I'm anxious to see it. I definitely have to see it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably hate it.
I know. I know. It's so strange, dude. But yeah, I think you might.
I mean, I don't want to be like this.
It's just what you.
I want to have that. I think no, and I do.
With other things, dude.
Oh, I do.
You have it with things that I'm like, well, literally nothing.
True, and I also like love movies like you're saying this is because it's making me think like I want it to have that. I want it to work on me like that. It's not like I go in there, sit down with my arms folded. My arms are out in a hug, like please hug me, film. That's the way I go in. It's not like I go in. I mean, sometimes I go in if I've seen something about it that I think I'm going to hate. Like Portrait of a Lady on Fire, which is one of my favorite films of all time, which is I saw 8 times in the movie theater.
Whoa.
When I saw the trailer, I was like, fuck that. And then, so my arms were folded when I first saw that.
What about it? When did you unfold your arms?
Oh, it was just, I thought it was masterful filmmaking and masterful acting and just so simple. And it was I think it's the ultimate like love story. It's all those things together, man. And like, but the second time I saw it, that was like one of the great cinema going experiences that I've ever had.
What was it about? Because I'm thinking of seeing Hamnet again.
Well, this can only happen in film, where it's about the cinematic artistry, and like what you're talking about here. It's about like the camera, the editing, and the acting combining to do something in you.
Yeah.
Right? There's not a lot of things. I mean, I guess in a stage, I've never actually had this watching a play or any kind of theater. But from people talking, I think people have.
Yeah.
But I think it's different there. It's like that's just acting, you know, and writing, of course. But I'm saying like it's in the actor's hands. In film, it's a combination of things that are unique. And, you know, for me to be so, I'm so cynical about the filmmaking process. And I'm so behind the camera, you know, so it's so hard for me to give in. I'm always judging.
Right.
So when something does that to me, it's rare. And that's what it did to me. And I don't know what she's doing right now, Celine Sciamma, but I think she's one of the great filmmakers. Her next film was almost as good.
What was it?
Petite Maman. And Matt's lifting up his arm. I love her. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they were all on the podcast, but this is the first time I talked to 3 people together. So it was.
Is that your picture on Twitter?
Yes, it is. That's like a prized possession.
Wow.
Because you see how they're all laughing, smiling at me.
Actually, yeah.
I mean, sometimes
I'm the one who's
sometimes I just pull that up, Daddy, when I'm lonely.
I hear that. I understand that. I would too. What was that interview like?
It was too short and too stressful because I was enamored by all of them. It was like I was really prepared, but I'll never do that again. Like I can't talk to 3 people at one time.
Yeah.
And have such a short amount of time. It was too much. So it's not. I don't think it's the greatest episode, but it's one. It's one of the most downloaded episodes.
What do you think about Quentin Tarantino talking about Paul Dano?
I'm in shock. I'm in total shock. You know, part of me.
Listen to that whole episode?
No.
I haven't listened to it.
Wow.
I'd be curious.
So, part of me wants people to be honest.
Yeah.
About things, but that felt cruel. It's just cruel. And it makes me think there's something else going on there. Right? I mean, that's just absolute cruelty.
I don't know. I really don't know. I go I agree with you, and then I also go but I think I have to listen to that episode to actually understand.
Yeah.
What's out of where it came from, what's actually happening here.
It's such a sign that we're in a truth desert where somebody says something like that and it's news. Everybody's heard about it, right?
Right.
And then that's what I'm saying. It would be nice if we could all be more truthful and not be afraid of how we look and not be afraid of actually saying some discerning things and, having an opinion about things.
Yeah.
So that something like that wouldn't be like, oh my God, somebody said something and they don't care how somebody feels.
Yeah. But it's interesting too, man, because it's all this stuff that's going on, people talking shit about each other all the time behind closed doors.
Absolutely.
I go a part of me, there's some part of me that's man, a little rivalry in this industry could be interesting.
Yeah.
It's just hard because it's acting and art and so subjective. Two people
That's
don't go into the
is.
ring and fight. So it's
yeah.
What's the actual metric?
To call him the weakest actor in SAG is.
I don't know about that. We know some weak actors in SAG.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so funny, man.
That is a calculated hit.
Yeah, that's so.
It's not even
the other two that he brought up
make
too
any sense.
Matthew Lillard, right? That's his name.
Oh, I didn't know he brought up other people.
My man, I haven't seen a whole lot of him, but I got down with him in Scooby Doo. Really, that's not a weak actor. Who else is doing?
Twin Peaks. Yeah.
He also doesn't like Owen Wilson.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Do you have anything else for you? Has there anything in recent episodes that surprised you?
Surprised me? What do you mean by surprised me?
Of something that makes you go, really? Either in terms of
Tim Blake Nelson was him saying I don't care if a director is an asshole. That to me that was a shocking thing. I don't and he really meant it. I think that I didn't know how to even
What does that point to? What do you think?
I think he's making a great point that but the point is that he's basically saying I'm so director proof that you could be the biggest asshole and I don't care. I'm going to do my work no matter what.
So that's a sign that he's not affected. A lot of people, probably myself included, would shut down from harsh direction.
Yes.
It's I'm gonna do my thing.
Yes. And he is a director himself too. So there are certain actors that don't need to have the greatest director, right, in order to do their work. But an asshole is a whole other kind of step below bad directing. It's now you're just dealing with a certain kind of mentality that feels like how could anything grow? How could you be vulnerable in front of an asshole? This is what the shocking part.
Be vulnerable in front of an asshole is crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, can I confess to you that I think thus far, hopefully this changes, but the hardest acting that for me I've ever had to do was in commercials.
Really?
Yeah.
And you have really ruined my football watching over the last year with your Visible commercial.
That was really hard.
So I was going to say, was that a hard?
For me, it was really hard.
Because that's
I was like, I thought I was totally shut down. And like, there was like, at the end of the day, I'd be like, because it's literally just me. I'm the only actor that's there for a lot of that commercial. So it's me.
No words.
No words, and the camera moves. It's like really like technical specific. And to me, it feels like everybody's really kind. But they also wish you were just a fucking robot.
Yes.
But it would be better if you would just smile when I press the button, though.
Yes.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
With a little bit more twinkle in the eye, like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's so like the camera's gonna fly in from outer space over there.
Yeah.
You're gonna turn as the camera lands, and do the thing.
Yeah.
And there was definitely moments where for me I was like, whoa, I think I'm like really not good at this. I think I'm like really letting these.
Is this even acting though? Is this acting?
I think it's a different. I think
it's a whole different muscle, right?
I think it's a totally different muscle, and I think it's like this is. JJ's been saying like that, that he's trying to figure out what acting is, or like it's. And I was like, what are you talking about? It's about having an experience. And I was like, I think I'm also starting to give up on finding the answer to that question.
Mm-hmm.
Is it acting or is it not acting? I need that paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll tell you what, when the camera zooms around, if it's hard for me to smile at that exact moment, that means I need to develop the skill to do the smile at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
But that was like, I'm actually not sure if I've ever felt as shut down in like a legit acting project as I felt there.
But do you feel like surviving that you've grown because of that?
I hope so. I hope so. It's also like, you don't know, like I did this commercial in Mexico for tequila that was also a complete fucking disaster for me, but I was 1 out of like 10. But this is my first like you don't know what problems there are to face.
Yes.
I thought like, bro, I'm going to be loose and free and whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't expect the camera to zoom in from outer space and do a turn and zoom around from behind my head. And like, I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know that was a battle to be faced.
Yeah.
I thought all I needed to do is be warm and friendly and do a clear audition than everybody else.
Yeah.
But you don't know the problems that occur until you're facing them. So my hope is that next time something like this happens, I go like, this has happened before.
Yes.
And I had some options that time.
You know what's sad? You think there's going to be a next time.
I don't know.
No, I'm not talking about you. There are not going to be actors in commercials. That's the first thing that's going to be gone. You think that kind of commercial is going to have an actual person next year?
I don't know. I'm on the side.
Why would a commercial need to appease to humans and the human SAG Screen Actors Guild or something? When they got robots that's going to smile exactly when they want it to smile, AI-generated humans, for commercials, for that.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that's going to go. You think you're ever going to do something like that again? Isn't it funny that people still think there's a future in that? The precision of these multi-million-dollar corporations that they want, that they're sitting around the corporate thing of like exactly what they want, because the Mad Men guy, like drew it, like we're gonna have this, and you want them to go out and have to tell you 4 times how to smile, right?
Yeah.
To have that one little thing that doesn't even look like it's real, it's kind of cool. You're one of the last actors to work in that kind of commercial. We need to face this. Like, you think I want this? But this is what everyone needs to face. That's gone. That's the first thing that's gone. Because you also weren't doing any talking. But that's next. You don't think so?
I think models evolve. Like, I think I'll say this, man. I think that I do potentially think that the hired by a big corporation to do a commercial actor, I do think that model is starting to fade. The same way that I think that, let's say, to date, that's been my highest paying acting job. I have friends that are influencers. Like, I made that over the span of 7 months. This off residuals is how I made the bulk of that money. I have influencer friends that will make double that in 2 days.
Yep.
Something that they made themselves.
Yep.
So the model, and that didn't exist 2 years ago either. So I think the model is just totally shifting.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not. I mean, I really don't. I think feel that much doom over it.
Is that what your approach is with your students then? Not to let them have the doom about this?
We don't really talk about it.
That's probably for the best.
I'm not sure there's anything to be done. But I go like, when I have like a transcendent experience like I had watching Hamnet, I can't imagine that will completely fade away. But I do think that
that's the last thing probably will
go. I
go.
do think that sometimes I'll watch like things that I auditioned for, like even like a procedural, like a series regular procedural. I'll watch. I'm just curious who got it and how it looks. And I will say, I now sometimes see there is some acting that I think I'm like, it's like fine, it's like passable, but then you see something like that, and I go like, man, I maybe I'm wrong, but I go like, man, there's probably like 5 people on the planet that can do something like that.
Yeah.
So I go like, I think we're all playing slightly different games, but I think the game that you choose to play, I think you ought to try to be one of the best in that one.
Mm. Yeah.
No matter what it is.
That's the thing. If we actually, what I would do is stop that and start it again.
We're gonna upload it at the same time anyway. We're still gonna have to refine this box.
Levy. We're going? Oh fuck! What was I gonna say? No. Hamnet, baby. Go.
But yeah, so I was saying that like, no matter what, like, it's hard for me to believe that like the model of, like, I've been to a lot of, let's say, UCB shows back in the day. Even on main stage, like the teams, there's a lot of people who they're like good.
Yeah.
But there's 1 or 2 who are like, bro, I can't wait for him or her to come back on stage.
Yep. Oh, that's what I was going to say. If we up the game, like it's time to up the game on everything.
I think we're going to have to.
So that they can't replace us easily. The reason why they're able to replace us easily, this is going to be so hard to hear, everybody. I'm sorry, because you all go see Marvel movies. It's the Marvelization of our culture, where everything is already a green screen and the acting is, it's like, it's fine. Now we can replace things easily because of that. We need to up it so that, wow, I can't really replace this with an AI thing, what that person just did. Like, you see Hamnet, and you're like, now you're like, it's gonna be longer before they replace this now. Like, it made you think it's long. That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, I'm curious.
We have to all do that, and that's the actor and the director. The director has to up it too.
Well, there's also like a massive, like there is like a clear contraction in the industry. Like agencies are letting go of agents, and like Paramount firings. Like there's too many salaries there's too many, I think, shows that nobody's watching.
Yes.
So
that's
on
true.
one hand, we go like, it's like there's never been more work, and yet I'm still not on one.
Yeah.
But I think, like, it seems to me like even if there's less, I think it will force, like, if we start treating acting as less of like, it's an art and everyone deserves a shot at the table, and more of like, bro, actually maybe to be on something you need to be like really good. Mm-hmm. Not like kind of good.
Yeah.
I wonder if, yeah.
And that I think starts at all levels, even the level of audience demanding things to be better.
But they don't know it's possible.
Exactly.
But they don't know it's possible. And it's also like for example, like to be like if we can just talk about jiu-jitsu for a second.
Oh, sure.
So over the past, I would say 5 years, there's been a company called BJJ Fanatics that releases like instructionals with like top guys. Like it's like a massive way that they make money, like the actual athletes. They've a lot of money has come into jiu-jitsu, and it's like the sport's really expanded. But just because the instructional exists, like I have a lot of instructionals that I've paid money for. That doesn't mean that I'm a black belt. Mm-hmm. It's like it's like just because it's like so hard to actually be that and do that. So I still wonder like who's going to actually have the motivation and the drive to actually do it.
Yes.
Because yeah. We
need to demand better, and we need to find a way to deliver better. That's what I'm saying. Like everything has to rise now. I don't think we're scared enough about what's going to happen. I really don't. I think everyone's like making fun of it, like memes and stuff, making fun of Tilly Norwood with memes. Tilly Norwood is going to change shit. You have to, we could still laugh about this. We laugh about it while this thing does it. These people that created this thing are going to get paid to have other people like this. Like we're not properly scared. But I think we should be scared, and that fright should be injected into us to do better work. And actually ignore the industry. I think we should be ignoring the industry. I know that this is not good for people that are about to break, and like you want to break into the industry if you've been accumulating credits and you want to actually get paid and pay rent from doing your work because you're good. Obviously, that's what should be happening all the time with artists, right? But if you're way out of the periphery of making it, but you know you're good and people are responding to the stuff you're doing, ignore the industry. Do your work, put it out. More than ever, I say this. More than ever. Even actors should be making their own stuff and making it good, though. That's the thing. So many things I see, I get sent so much stuff, man, because the people want to be on my show. PR people send me stuff, right, to watch. So much of it is crap, and they bought a publicity person for it. I cannot watch more than 5 minutes of it. How are you like, what are you doing? You're putting money to promote that? You don't know? You don't have people in your life telling you that shit?
The thing is, it feels like they're selling different things, right? So I go like if you're selling like if we remove like this is art and we just treat it as a business.
I'm saying don't take me as being a snob. Like, I'm not talking anything's going to get to my level where I'm saying it's good. I'm talking about it's not even watchable for anyone. Because you don't even know about this stuff. No one knows about it. They're putting money into it, trying to get people to watch. I'm like, why? And they think they hear their TikTok things about how you have to like make your Instagram page match colors of your film or something like that. Then you have to do this kind of marketing, and you think, well, your product is shit, though. It's shit. What? And then you don't know that, though. And again, I'm not saying this as a snob. Nothing's going to reach my level. I'm not. I am smart enough to be like, to know something is like. I'm able to like recognize commercial stuff and the viability of it. And so much of it is not. And this is the wrong time to be making shit.
I think this is the best time to be making shit. For real. Because the thing is, man, like, it's like so many actors that have had jobs their whole lives don't have jobs right now. So I go, like, in terms of an investment, now is the time that you could get someone to do something that otherwise they wouldn't.
All I'm saying is put thought and effort into it. Sometimes you're not going to be able to you're not going to have the capability to reach a certain thing. But I want to see people putting thought and effort to it. I have lifted up so many things, man, that are not well made, but they're thoughtful, and there's effort is put into it. And I'm like, look, that's all I want. Thought, effort, and personal stuff. Make it personal. So much stuff. I'm thinking of, I can't think of the name. Don't make me think of names. I have early onset Alzheimer's. So this is abuse for an elderly man. Doing something like this. What was it? Sarah Jones. What was her movie? Come on!
Fascinating stand-up comedian.
I'm working on a set. I am working on a set.
It's actually not even a turtleneck. Nice sweater. What is this, alpaca?
We're coming to the end of... I'm joking.
Do you have anything else for Big Pete Dog? Bald head.
What was the Sarah Jones movie, Matt? Come on. I had her on my show. No, forget it.
The Johnson's Lizards?
It's an imperfect movie that was personal, meta, and I just want people to do that. Just put yourself into it thoughtfully, with intention. No, it's wrong, Sarah Jones. Maybe her name is not Sarah Jones.
Peter, I gotta ask you something, man.
Man, this is so embarrassing. Okay. She has one-woman shows.
What the fuck, Peter, is the remodernist film movement?
Oh, don't. No. That is a no comment.
Rinaldi participated in a series of articles outlining remodernist film concepts. He analyzed the manifesto and shared his personal thoughts, in quotes, on it in his
Can
essay.
I just say one thing about what you're reading there?
Yeah.
I am so proud that I have a Wikipedia page that I didn't create myself.
That is awesome.
Right? I don't know who created it. And I'm just like, and no one has added to it. No one has said, like, what I do now or anything. I'm not important enough to have it updated. But so many people create their own Wikipedia pages, or they have people create them, and you could tell.
Right.
But I love it because I sometimes need information if I'm going to interview an actor or something like that. But you could tell, like, bro, this is way too much information for just a regular person of, some kind of like encyclopedia maker or whatever, or person who adds to Wikipedia.
All right, let's finish this up.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say?
So I want to say one final thing. Let me say this in the, this is not the Bible. This is a hymnal. All right? You want me to hold that?
Yeah.
You have to grow as an actor all the time. And you can grow it's a beautiful thing. You can grow in multiple ways, but two major ways. By actually putting yourself on a stage or in front of a camera, and also by living life to the fullest. And by that I mean, and I'm almost going to get emotional, get your heart broken, get your self betrayed. I don't know how you do that, but I mean, allow yourself to be betrayed. Not allow yourself. Oh man, I wish I had better vocabulary. See,
more trusting naturally.
Yes,
That's what you're saying.
I'm just saying, like, be out there, and and not be afraid of things, not be afraid of people and failing, not be afraid of failing. You see, and I know you have as a teacher, David, so many people who fail and then they come back stronger. How many times has that happened,
Like
brah?
100, bro.
100.
Yeah.
And like, can you even do it without failing? Can you even come back stronger without failing?
No, that's true.
I have spent so long avoiding proper failure. You know, I mean, I didn't go on a stage until I was 47 years old. People wanted to put me in the play in high school. I was the president of the drama club. I had stage fright. I refused to do it. So I've lived in fear. And you know, I really honestly don't think you're ever too old to do things, you know? So I'm not somebody who, I don't even care. I don't even care if somebody thinks I'm too old to do anything. Or like, you're going to start doing, you're making your first feature now? I don't give a fuck about anything like that at all. And I want people, but I do wish that I failed more and that I put myself out there more. That's a regret, amongst other regrets. But that's a major regret. And I want young people to hear that and to just fail. There's nothing better than failing. But if you want to be a brain surgeon, like that's a fucked up place to have failure, right?
I think so, yeah.
So most of us are not brain surgeons. Mm-hmm. Acting is a great place to be a failure. A great place. There's no better place. If you're a failure, go into acting. Yeah. That's where you'll thrive. That's what I want to say, baby. Thanks.
Dude, I would love to listen to a podcast. Maybe we can produce a podcast between you and Hunter Hawk.
Oh, that would be amazing.
That would be
Oh, everyone would love that. Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah. All right. That's where we're ending.
Thank you.
Thank you. Love you, baby.